Hello, hello, my lovely angels. This is your girl Sim back with another episode of the Sim Squad. Hi! So, two of these perfumes are old and I've used them before and they're so old that I stopped using them. And one of them is fairly new. It's new for me and it's going to be new for you. Don't ask me how I got my hands on this because although this perfume is produced in Dubai, it's not available in Dubai. And that's none other than Bade'e Al Oud Sublime. Now this perfume, so difficult to get my hands on this. Should I first start with that one? Oh wait, I said I'm gonna say 5 things about myself and the same 5 things I would wanna hear from you because I wanna get to know you better. So I'm from Dubai. My name is Simin. That's spelled as Simin, but it's pronounced as C mean. My zodiac sign is Cancerian. I am originally from India, Mumbai, but I have lived all my life in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and I believe this is my home and this is where I want to live and hopefully someday have my grave over here. Wow, that got morbid real fast. So let me start with the first one, which is Bade'e Al Oud. Now the packaging is I think it's nice because what really do you do with packaging? You just take the perfume out and you throw it. But the cool part is that it has this little booklet kind of thing over here. The perfume is the bottle is really heavy and it has this leathery feeling, and it has Lattafa written at the back, and your perfume bottle is exactly how the predecessors were. So let me tell you the notes which you find in this little booklet. Don't be mistaken because it's not a part of the design, because many people, I think, they just think it's a part of the box and they ignore it. So the top notes for this are lychee, rose and apple. So initially I was okay, it's probably gonna be in the same family as Delina. The heart notes are jasmine and plum, and the base notes are moss, vanilla and patchouli. Now let me tell you something. The other two, by the way, if you did not already know, was the Oud for Glory and the Amethyst. So this is Bade'e Al Oud Amethyst and the Bade'e Al Oud for Glory. These two were legends. I think these were the perfumes that put Lattafa on the map. And after, I don't know how many years, they have released this one, which is the Bade'e Al Oud Sublime. Did I say the name before? I just started the video and I never bothered to say the name. So, this perfume, it is gorgeous. First of all, let me just say the initial spray is a lot of fruits. And when I say fruits, think tropical fruits, right? So although it says lychee, rose and apple, the apple is very much there, but the rose, it's like a hint of it. So it's nothing like Delina. If anybody tells you this smells like Delina, please don't believe it, because if you're looking for a dupe for that, this is not it. This would be I would compare it to, not even properly compare it to, but it goes as fruity. So think in the lines of Herba Pura. The lychee is there, but the sweetness of it, not the tartness, So lychee, if you've had that fruit, which is delicious, it's one of my favorite fruits in the whole wide world. When you have it, it has a little tanginess as well. It's sweet, but it's tangy as well. This does not have that tanginess. It has a lychee sweet part, and then it's plum. So I would say in this perfume, the plum is the dominating note. The other notes are jasmine, rose and apple. The apple is very much there and it doesn't smell green. So this smells very much like a thick, syrupy perfume, which is super fruity. It smells like one of those syrups you get, which you mix in iced tea or you mix it in drinks, I don't know what they're called, but they're usually very sweet and syrupy. And this smells something like that, but very, very tropical. The base notes of moss, vanilla and patchouli. Now, this is again, I would say just a hint of it. Just a hint of it. So the patchouli does shine a little bit towards the end, but the vanilla and the moss, you would expect that you would get some kind of earthiness along with that patchouli, but no, you don't. Now, by the way, the first time I sprayed this perfume, so obviously, if you remember, I always say this, that spray it out a little bit, because the perfume which is in the pipe, which is attached to the atomizer, it is different from the actual juice inside. So the macerated juice, if you really want it, you need to spray it out. Although you might feel, I'm wasting a couple of sprays, don't bother, because that is not going to be the actual perfume. once you spray that out, and the first time I sprayed it, I was a little disappointed. Let me tell you the whole thing, right? So compared to this and this, I expected it to be more goth. Like these perfumes for me are very like goth. Like I don't know if you would agree with me or not, but these perfumes are like vampish, you know, like I don't know, vampish or vampirish, you know. It's like nighttime dark perfumes. And this one initially to me did not feel like that. Now, compared to the power as well, the longevity, the projection, everything is milder than its predecessors. So I was initially a little bit disappointed. But now it's been in my collection for over a week. And the more I'm spraying it, the more I am learning about it. And now I feel it is like nice and thick. And the fact that this is not a super dark bottle, I absolutely agree with the packaging. If it was slightly darker, this packaging, then I would have expected it to have that like really vampy quality, but it's not. This is like a very cheerful perfume, and this is definitely meant for summer. But you know what? You can use it any time of the year, any time of the day. I think this would just be a winner. And this is going to be an easy grab. So unlike the other two, which are meant for cooler climes and like maybe more of nighttime or occasion wear, I'm talking about people outside Middle East, right? Because for Middle Eastern people, it's like anytime during the day you'll spray like oud heavy perfumes. But this one, the Sublime, it's suitable for any time of the day, any time of the year. You can just go on spray it. I feel what's missing in this slightly is a little tinge of tobacco. If it had like a little tint of tobacco, it would change this perfume a lot, and I think it would give it more substance, because right now it's just like a really fruity perfume. Now when you say fruity perfume from Lattafa, you immediately go to Rums, right? The Rums Gold, which is probably the fruitiest thing I ever owned. It's so fruity. This is also fruity, but not that kind of fruity. That is very fresh, very sweet. This also is sweet, but it has a little bit of darkness, like the plum. Think of plum and lychee, how they would go together. This is that. And the rose, like people who are worried about the rose note, if you don't like it, don't worry, this is not going to overwhelm you. And this is also not it's oudless, so like there's absolutely no oud in it, unlike the other two which has oud in it. For now I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 because it's still not there yet for me. I need to still try it more. I need to wear it and go out more. I want to see like how many compliments I get from people. Based on that, I might like increase my rating, but minimum rating for this is 8 out of 10. The longevity would be a good 4 hours, and the projection I would say is like 2-3 feet. Now for the celebrity, I would give this to Scarlett Johansson, but not Scarlett Johansson as the marble thingy. What was she? Black Widow. This is not Black Widowish. This is otherwise Scarlett Johansson. I'm pleasantly surprised because like honestly, like when a flanker comes out after like so many days, I mean, you can't even call it a flanker. It is called Bade'e Al Oud, so it is a flanker. But honestly, like I would not consider this as a flanker for the other ones. But it's very refreshing thing to do by Lattafa that, you know, they didn't go dark. Initially, I was like disappointed because I really wanted something like really dark, you know, vampy gothic kind of a perfume. But I like the fact that they didn't go that way, so that the range actually has different things to offer. You know what? The next one, I would expect them to do something citrus. You know, that would be like amazing. If they can make something really deep and syrupy, yet citrus, I would like, wow, I would just like go bonkers, you know. So hopefully after this, they probably will come up with like a dark green bottle, or I don't know, like a different colored bottle, and they would come up with something for the summer. This is definitely meant for the summer. And although I say this leans feminine, anybody can wear it, you know. And especially like this can also be used to layer. So you can actually use this perfume with other perfumes if you want to add that fruitiness, but not the kiddish or juvenile fruitiness. This is like mature, like a mixer, like a cocktail mixer kind of thick syrupy perfume. And I love it. I love it so much. So this is like 8 out of 10. Good one for me. So let's jump on to the OG, which was the, by the way, guys, if you cannot smell your Lattafas, if you feel like something is wrong, please check for this holographic sticker, because if that is not there, apparently that's like kind of a thing that it's a genuine perfume, you know. Although I don't know why people would replicate or clone this perfume and come up with fakes because Lattafa already is a very, very economical brand. So this guy did not have that card, by the way. Does it? Is it hidden somewhere? No, it does not. Oh my god. Now this oud is definitely not like a fresh oud. It is definitely giving me that little barnyardy quality. Actually, it's not even barnyardy quality. It is like oud with some leathery feeling. Let me tell you the notes for this quickly. The top notes for this are bergamot, pink peppercorn and blackcurrant. Heart notes are peony, caramel and oud wood. And the base notes are raspberry, patchouli and dry amber. So they haven't really said that they have listed leather in this, right? This is categorized as an amber wood, and I understand it is amber wood, but this is more like your traditional oud perfume, right? But you would think, oh, traditional oud means like it's gonna be a rose oud along with some amber. That's like your traditional oud perfume. But this is like remove the rose and then the oud becomes a little dry. But I'm mainly just getting the oud and like a little bit of leather. So you know this perfume was blatantly duping Initio's Oud for Greatness, which was like a legendary perfume. And although I don't own that perfume because it's like extremely pricey, every time I enter a perfume shop, I make sure that I smell that if it's available. As a tester, I do smell it. And yes, while it is similar, and it goes in the same vein, right? So it's like the DNA is the same. But Oud for Greatness has like it's a little bit more elevated. Like, I don't know how to say it, but it's a little bit more banyadi for sure. So that is like your oud, like really oud. This one would be like a little less polarizing compared to that one. But for a person who loves oud, that perfume is like legend, yeah? But this perfume is like meant, it's a bit more westernized, let's just call it. It's not so banyadi. It is there still, like compared to oud mood or something, you will find this quite banyadi. But at the same time, it doesn't overwhelm you. So I don't see anybody not liking it, but beware, this is a very oud forward. I mean, it's called Oud for Glory. So like, you know, of course, this is a polarizing set because oud is polarizing, right? So it's like, imagine if you like oud, this is a no-brainer. You will like this perfume. Like the first time I sprayed it, you know, the feeling I had got the first time I had used it, it like when I'm smelling it again, it's smelling the same and it's giving me the same like kind of like feeling when you like really like a perfume and you're just like, you know, again, I'm going to repeat this again and again. This is not banyadi. It is like a bit banyadi. It has that little leathery quality which is not even mentioned over here, but it's not the poopy. I don't want to say that, but yeah, some people say, oh my god, oud smells like poop. I mean, oh my gosh, like that comparison to me is actually like, it's an insult, you know, because oud, it doesn't smell like poop, you know. But like that's what they say when they mean banyadi. It's like when you enter a horse stable or a farm, you know, like that kind of smell you get. And I get it, why you would think that way, but like, don't stick your nose into the perfume when you're smelling oud. Like let it spray on just spray it on yourself and smell it in the air, right? This perfume for me is a 10 out of 10. Like it's like a no-brainer. Like if you like oud, you're gonna like this perfume. It's amazing. And although like I feel this leans masculine, this is perfectly fine for women who like that slightly masculine. So it's not so masculine that you would smell like cologne or like weird, like a bro, like a gym bro or something. It doesn't smell like that. It does smell like quite nice. So you can use it, absolutely. So I would say this is unisex. Fragrantica has a rating of 4.24 and I think it doesn't have like above 4.5 just because it's polarizing, just because it has oud in it. This for me, it's like, again, any season, but at night or on occasions. But if you're used to oud, you can spray this, but like just spray a little bit less sprays, like spray one maybe, you know, and then refresh yourself instead of spraying a lot and hoping for it to last the entire day. This will last you at least, the longevity will be, I'm so proud of myself that I'm not saying longevity anymore, because now when I say longevity, it sounds wrong. So I guess I'm used to it now. You guys have corrected me. So the longevity is 6 hours plus, and the projection, the sillage would be like around 4 to 6 feet, because yes, if I spray it on one side of the room, it will travel. Not very fast, but ultimately the whole room is gonna smell of this perfume. It is gorgeous. The celeb, I would go for this one. Now the thing is that I am going for females. Although these are all unisex perfumes, I thought let me like get it, like make a little twist, and let's find out like what these perfumes smell as a woman. Like it has to be like a very empowering, a very strong, you know. I would give this to, what's her name? Monica Bellucci. But you know, from that movie Milena. I know it was a very disturbing movie, but Milena, but like in the end, you know, like when she has accepted that she is like, this is her man killer image that she just accepts, and she's like, whatever. You know, when the guys come and they light the cigarette for her, it's like, you know that scene when she walks and struts, like literally where everybody just looks at her, man, women, children, like everybody stares at her. This is that. This is like Monica Bellucci, but like the strong one, the one which is not crying and stuff, you know. So the next one is Bade'e Al Oud Amethyst, and this has the card. I think the card from the Bade'e Al Oud, is it missing? Because no, it does not. It doesn't have that slot, you know. So now this one has the notes. So let me just quickly go through this. The top notes are bergamot and pink pepper. Heart notes of Turkish rose, Bulgarian rose, and jasmine. And the base notes are vanilla, amber, and oud. Let me not say too much. This is basically a combination of oud and rose. And it was duping Inicio's Atomic Rose. Oh my gosh, this perfume. Okay, so let me tell you how I feel when I spray this perfume. This makes me feel like a Arabian princess. It makes me feel like somebody who's very clean, but she's extremely well dressed. She's adorned with gold and precious gems or whatever. She has dark kohol on. Her hair is like jet black and it's open. She's like a royal, and she's like surrounded by upholstery and everything which is like very plush, and like she's a queen, like everybody like worships her, and she's like somebody like who everybody just looks up, like, you know, as if she's come down from heaven. Okay, that's a bit too much, but like this is how it makes me feel. Like every time I wear this, like I would like be strutting down the street, like I would be like, I'm the shit. Sorry, I shouldn't say that, but I'm the bomb. You know, like I am like somebody, you know. It'll give you that instant confidence boost. And if any perfume is going to turn heads, it's going to be this one. If you walk, the sillage is going to be like 10 feet or so. When you walk by, it's going to be like, you know, you are no longer visible, but like you can still smell the perfume, you know. And people will be like, oh, Simin was in this room. You know, it's like that kind of effect. So, you know, definitely any of these can become your signature perfume, but this one especially, the only downside is that for some people it'll be a little cloying, because of course it's oud dominant, rose dominant, like two notes that people find overwhelming. Personally, I think this is done in a very fresh and nice way, that it feels like it has that coolness of the night. So it's like the roses are blooming at night and the oud is burning in one corner, but it's a starry night and it's cool, it's winter, you know, and you, even though you're in the desert, you like are cold, you know, and it gives me that kind of feel. So it's definitely not the one which will choke you just because it has that little cooling dry effect. Mind you, I've smelled Inicio's Atomic Rose once. It's a little too atomic for me. Like they clearly say it, like, and I know it's a beautiful perfume, but you really need to have to be in a mood for it. This one, on the other hand, for me will be like a no-brainer. Like I would wear this. I would even wear this to the office. I would have the audacity to do that. I wouldn't care. And if people tell me like, oh my gosh, you're smelling so strong, I would be like, so, you know, because that's how it's gonna make me feel, right? As a note, rose is not something I gravitate towards. I actually try and keep away from rose as much as possible unless it's winter. But this one, it gives me that berry, just think of it as a berry rose jam. Like it's like a mix of berry and rose, and it's like that sugary, like jammy, syrupy, nice, and it's just out of the refrigerator. And there's oud burning in your house. You know, I don't know why oud is always burning around me. So like it's just that whenever I think of oud, I imagine it to be like the burning oud. And by the way, this is like the bakhur oud, so it's like something that's burning. It is not barnyard. And you know, the first whiff, the pink peppercorn, it does its magic. It'll not make you sneeze, it'll not irritate you. It does its magic and it just goes away, you know. Then it's just your roses, the Bulgarian, what was the other one? Turkish rose. Bergamot, I guess it's there, but it just kind of mellows down the rose a little bit, because if you're making a berry rose jam, definitely you're gonna add some lemon to it, right? I don't know, at least in my recipe you would. So like bergamot, not lemon, but like it just has that little bit of lemony thing. But again, along with the peppercorn, it just like goes away. And then you're just left with this beautiful rose oud vanilla amber base thing going on, which is just like very seductive. This guy is nuclear, by the way, so it'll last you at least 8 hours on your skin, on your clothes, wherever you spray it. It's gonna stay. As a matter of fact, if you don't wash your clothes, this is not gonna go away. The projection is like, again, 6 to 8 feet. It's gonna smell like, it'll leave trails behind you. So even the trail would be like around like 6 to 8 feet. Like after you leave, people can still smell it. And whichever room you'll enter, it'll stay in that room. This for me is, again, it leans a little feminine, but it's unisex. And in Middle Eastern culture, this is like a proper unisex because this can be worn by either or. But for me, like this kind of perfumes, they lean slightly feminine. And the celebrity, I would give this to, wait, 10 out of 10 rating. The overall rating is 10 out of 10. And on Fragrantica, it is 4.23, which is like still a lot. But again, it's not above 4.5, which would be like beyond excellent, right? That would be like, it's a killer perfume. Still, for me, this is a 10 out of 10. And the celebrity it reminds me of is Eva Green. Is it Eva Green or is it Eva Green? Eva Green, I think, from, the Dark Shadows, like the Johnny Depp movie. First of all, I find that movie super hilarious, right? But Eva Green in that was just like, because she's like that, she's in love, like she's inspired by love and vengeance, which is like very passionate. So she's a very passionate character in that, right? This is her. This is Eva Green. I love this perfume so much. And I would be confused, like which one should I rate on the top. Let me not drop them because they're really heavy. So all three of them for me are bangers. Like they're bang for your buck. They're slightly more expensive than normal oud perfumes, sorry, Lattafa perfumes, but still they are like, I think, less than $40. So go get it. If you get Sublime for summer, this is perfection. Get it. It's nice. Even after summer, you can layer it with tobacco, or you can try, I will try it with leather as well, but like I think tobacco, like just a little bit touch of tobacco will kill it. It's amazing. I love it. By the way, all the perfumes, all these ones, they have this little plaque at the bottom as well. Yeah. I hope I was helpful in deciding if Sublime is worth it or not, but Sublime is definitely worth it. It's beautiful. And when you open the box, please look for this because people are like, where are the notes? The notes are right here. Okay, so just open the box, notes are there. So yeah, I'm gonna take your leave, and I think I'm gonna spray this all over myself. Oh my god, it's very nice, so nice. And like if I mix all three of them, it creates this very weird perfume. But again, like if I mix all three of them, you know what, I'll do that. I'll wear it tonight, like with all three. When I'm going out, I'll just put all three of them on myself and go out and see what people say. I know these two came super late. I mean, everybody and their like, daughters and granddaughters have done it because this is that old. But like me, like I'm a little late, but then I was like, it prompted me to buy it again just because of this and because this is a collection, and you know me, I need to have the collections. So that's it for today, guys. Let me stop talking because I'm tired and I've been filming a lot, and I need to like just get a sip of water, probably grab some coffee and stop, I love you guys so much. So stay tuned for the next one. Hopefully the next one would be, those Sakina, Haya and Iman. I have those finally. I bought them, and one of them is still on the way, but it'll come by the end of the week, so I'll film that next. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.